Smarties. It looks like
It does not have Smarties in the middle. You little
Are you just doing that?
I'm just being annoying now. Hi everyone! Last week I made my friend this rainbow cake for her birthday with a hidden rainbow on the inside, and everyone was so amazed I decided to make a video of it, and here's one that I made for my family this Easter. To make your rainbow you need mixing bowls, gel food colouring, toothpicks to get the food colouring out of the actual tubs, piping bags and a tall cup. You also need a hell of a lot of buttercream. Because I wanted to save on washing up, I actually only used 2 mixing bowls. So in the first one, I placed my yellow food colouring into my buttercream and mixed until I got the colour that I wanted. I then placed my yellow buttercream into a piping bag. After tying up my piping bag, I moved on to orange, where I had to actually mix my yellow and red food colouring. And as you can see, I'm using the same yellow bowl to save on that washing up. Once I got the colour I wanted, I placed it in my piping bag and moved on to red. Then in a clean bowl, I made my green, then my blue, and finally my purple. And here are the 6 colours that I'm going to use in my cake. I put a cake board onto my turntable and popped a little bit of buttercream on the bottom so the cake won't move around. Then I carefully place my level cake onto the board, and then the magic happens, and it's super simple. All you have to do is pipe the colours on in rainbow order in concentric circles. So you're going from the outside from red, then orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then placing your new leveled cake on top. Then it's just a matter of repeating the process for however many layers you have. You can go inverted, so it's from purple to red, but I decided to stay in true rainbow form and stay in the traditional red to purple. I then just wanted to show you the piping from the side because I find this really mesmerising. You've popped the top layer of your cake on, it's time for a crumb layer, and you just use some white buttercream or whatever buttercream you wish and just smooth it on the sides. I should have actually trimmed my cake down a bit so it was a bit squarer, because I've actually had to fill in quite a lot of the gaps with white buttercream, which meant that I've actually had to use some of my coloured buttercream to finish off the crumb layer. Once the crumb layer was finished, it was ready to go into the refrigerator, and whilst it was actually setting, I took my cat Honey to the vet. This is Honey. We got back from the vets about an hour later, which meant the cake was perfectly chilled and ready for frosting. So I piped on a single band of each colour of the rainbow up the side of the cake, except for the red, which actually got about a third of the top, as well as the actual surface layer. I then took my spatula and smoothed out the top, and then the sides. If you want to see how I do this fully, then please click on my La La Land video where you'll get full instructions. The really cool thing about this is that your spatula is actually Instagram worthy, even if the cake isn't. After everything's smoothed out, it's ready to go back in the fridge. I'm actually going to leave this overnight so it's nice and ready for the rest of the decorations in the morning. At the top of the cake, I used some rainbow chocolate eggs, some rainbow chocolate drops, and ignore the sprinkles. I didn't use them in the end. I melted some white chocolate in the microwave before letting it cool a little bit and then pouring it into a piping bag. I then tied off the end of the piping bag so it wouldn't spill anywhere. I then carefully piped the white chocolate around the side of the cake before filling in the middle. Using my spatula, I smoothed out the chocolate on the top of the cake and guided it down the sides. Now, some of the drips actually form naturally, but it's quite nice to actually guide the chocolate down so that it has a bit more of a uniform look. You do have to work really quickly because the cake is so cold that the chocolate sets really, really speedily. Once you've finished adding all your drips around the cake, just give it a final smooth over, and then it's ready for the rest of the decorations. Obviously, a rainbow cake with a chocolate drip side is a bit of a showstopper, but I wanted to go that extra step further, so I added these rainbow chocolate eggs onto the top and filled in some gaps with some chocolate pebbles. To keep the full rainbow and chocolate drip effect, I only put the pebbles on about 2/3 of the cake. Then to make it look like the chocolate was actually melting, I put the pebbles down the side of the drips. Where it was a bit set, I actually just moved the actual pebbles onto the chocolate until it melted it a little bit and pressed it in. It didn't look quite finished to me, so I added a few more of the pebbles in between the chocolate eggs, and then here's the finished cake. As you can see, it's super fun, super colourful, and it's got that lovely surprise in the middle, and it's a proper showstopper, which is actually really easy to make. So that's it from me this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye!